Indian women's hockey team has scripted history already because they've qualified for the semi-finals of the Olympic Games for the first time with a stunning 1-0 victory over the favourites Australia. Rani Rampal's side producing a gritty performance and winning against the world number 2 side against all odds. Here's how India made it to the last four.
India, a country where cricket takes centre stage over all other sports. And yet, it is hockey that's the talk of the town right now. And why not? The Indian women have pulled off one of their most memorable victories ever in Olympics history. Remember Chak De India? In the movie, Indian Eve's triumph over the Aussies against all odds. And that is exactly what happened in the quarterfinals of the Olympics. Gurjeet Kaur's solitary goal was enough, as India caused the biggest upset in the tournament, beating pool toppers and three-time Olympic champions Australia. A special victory for the nation. Australia had conceded just one goal in the tournament before this game. But the Indians held on to their nerves and did not allow them to dominate. India managed to keep the Hockeyroos at bay all through the match, highlighted by the fact that they kept out 9 penalty corners from the world number 2 side. It was India's goalkeeper Savita Punia who produced saves time and again to deny the Australians. India showed a great mix of aggression and strategy throughout the game. They thwarted Australian attacks skillfully, especially in the last quarter, when Emily Chalker's side desperately looked for an equalizer. But the job is only half done. India need another victory in the semis to confirm a medal. And they'll now take on world number 3 Argentina, who knocked Germany out in the first quarter-final. A tough battle awaits India in the last four. But let's hope the Indian women can come through that challenge as well. Sports Bureau, India Today.
So let's go on the ground now in Tokyo. My colleague Rahul Rawat has been getting us all the exclusive interviews. He's now been tracking the hockey team as well for this special broadcast. Over to you now, Rahul.
Well, thank you very much, Pooja. In fact, what delightful couple of days we've had here in Tokyo. First, PV Sindhu winning that bronze medal, her second Olympic medal, making her the second or the most successful female athlete as far as Olympics are concerned to go with her Olympic silver medal in Rio. Now she's got another medal in Tokyo this time. And then the Indian men's hockey team. And then the men's hockey team, they won the all-important quarter-final and are now through to the semi-finals. The first time they've made it to the semis since 1972. Remember 1980 Olympics? They did win a gold medal, but there were no semi-finals because only 6 teams participated in that particular Olympics. And now the women's team has also joined the bandwagon, the Powerpuff Girls of Indian women's hockey. What a performance they had. In fact, I was there at the venue, and the celebrations, the emotions were writ large on each and every face that took part in that match. And not just in that match, but the entire stadium was cheering for this Indian team. The way they managed to hold this Australian team, which was actually a commendable job that they did. 1-0 was the verdict which got them through to the semi-finals. In fact, I am also joined by my senior colleague, our consulting editor, Boria Majumdar, who's been there with me, in fact, here with me in Tokyo for the last 10-14 days. Boria, it's been, after that lull of almost 7 days, the women have just got India back in the mix, and also not to forget the men's hockey team. What these women have achieved is actually a matter of great pride for every Indian and of course for the team as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what a performance, Rahul. I mean, none of us expected yesterday, if you remember, when you and I parted ways to go to our respective hotels at 4 a.m. We were talking about this match and neither of us gave this team much of a chance because we all thought the men have a chance. The women against Australia is an uphill task. But today, look at that effort. Ultimately, it is the resilience that paid off. It is the commitment that paid off. The never say die attitude that paid off. Look at Savita Punia. If it was Srijesh the previous day, it was Savita Punia today. I mean, the team they punched above their weight. They have now, beaten Australia, the number 2 team. They were with Netherlands in the same group. They will now take on Argentina. There's every reason to believe, Rahul, that Argentina is beatable. You and I are both in the Athletic Stadium. We are outside of the Athletic Stadium. Kamalpreet Kaur, a bit of a disappointment so far, but maybe the last attempt, fingers crossed.
Well, absolutely. And Boria, I would in fact, I'm very happy that I've been corrected. Remember yesterday, as you said, that we were discussing about the match situation, the match result. You said a scoreline. In fact, you thought that it would be difficult for India, and you were predicting a scoreline. I said that this scoreline could be in the very first quarter itself. I didn't give this Indian team a chance, and I'm very happy and pleased to say that I've been wronged by this Indian women's hockey team. In fact, as you said, I'm standing right outside the Olympic Stadium where it was raining, and the discus throw competition, the final of the discus throw competition, where India's Kamalpreet Kaur has made it to the last 8. In fact, she was at the 6th spot when the last bottom 4 were eliminated. But Boria, I'll still, as you already said, that India next meet Argentina. What are their chances? Are you actually, because anyhow they have to play 2 matches, and even a single victory out of those 2 matches will fetch them a rare medal, perhaps their best ever achievement.
Absolutely, Rahul. And again, I will say the pressure has eased off. I mean, when a team plays fearless, the intent comes out. This team has already punched above their weight. They are on cloud 9. If you see Saad Marine basically said, and by the way, in that long written interview that Saad Marine gave me, which has been published by India Today Digital, he's talking about it at length, that they've done extraordinarily well. They're enjoying the moment. They're committed now. Frankly, the girls went for recovery. Rani, Savita, and all these other girls straight away went for recovery. You asked me about chances. Argentina is perhaps the opponent that you will most prefer, not the Netherlands, not Australia. So if there's any opportunity, it's Argentina. Can they do it? It'll also depend on what the men do against Belgium. If the men get past Belgium, they'll start to believe that this is hockey's Olympics as far as India is concerned. I am not putting it past them. Argentina start favorites, but after today, you and me will not dare say that the girls do not have a chance, because both of us have been proved wrong.
Anything is possible. Well, absolutely. Boria, keep a track of what Kamalpreet is doing there inside at the Olympic Stadium. Meanwhile, I'm going to toss to the Sindhu interview that you did last evening. In fact, what she had to say about this particular medal, how special it was, her future plans, and a lot more. Take a look.
Has it dawned? You are the greatest ever female Olympian. Has it dawned?
Well, thank you for that. I would take it as that compliment, and I'm really very happy, and I just can't believe it, because back-to-back Olympics mein getting a medal is definitely a proud moment, and of course I am super happy.
When that final shot happened and the point was taken, and you bent down, what was the reaction like? What was it like?
Well, I was blank at the moment, so I didn't know what I was doing. But then after a couple of seconds, I'm like, okay, I've got it. Like, I got this. And I just went to my coach and hugged him, because I'm sure his efforts are a lot. And I'm very, very thankful to him, Mr. Park. So, yeah, I mean, I just don't have words. I'm on cloud 9.
But Sindhu, Rio was difficult. Having said that, there was no pressure. This one was so much tougher, because 1.3 billion were expecting the world from you. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I mean, Rio was competitively very, very different, because there was no pressure. I mean, I was like a newcomer, and like no expectations. But I think 2021 is completely different, because pressure, responsibilities, expectations are a lot more. So yeah, it is very, very different. I just can't compare both of them, because Tokyo is something different, where people start expecting, and people were like, yes, we want this, but I'm sure a lot, is a lot of emotions, a lot of pressure, a lot of responsibilities, want to play for your country, want to play for yourself. So it's a lot. But I think apart from all that, I just kept calm and just being composed and just got that medal back.
It's 2:30, quarter to 3 kind of thing in the morning. By the time you reach around 4 o'clock, so I'll ask 2 more questions and let you go. So one is after yesterday, I mean, when you lost that semi-final, to be able to come back, Sindhu, and get it again, recover and say, oh, I will push one more time. How tough is it? How did you motivate yourself for that?
Definitely, there were a lot of emotions, mixed emotions, because, whether I had to be happy because I got another chance or I had to be sad because I lost the opportunity. I mean, there were a lot of mixed emotions, but I think I just, kept telling to myself, and my coach and my physio always motivated me, saying that it's okay. I mean, you still can get that, that medal, and getting a medal for the country is different. I mean, it's definitely a proud moment. So I just kept myself, I kept motivating myself. Obviously, it is sad, but yesterday was in the morning, I was like, come on, I need to do this. And obviously, it was sad to actually take it, but I've just had that emotion back of my mind and just went into the match and then just gave my best.
Okay, the last one from me. I mean, this time the Olympic circle is 3 years, not 4. So PV Sindhu will still be 28, a very young kid according to me. So you've now got the bronze, you've got the silver. So the only thing remaining, are you giving that to us or giving it a shot in Paris?
Definitely, yes, I will be there at Paris. So you will be looking at. So definitely, yes, I will give my best and play my best.
And so no COVID, so we will have crepe together, chocolate crepe together in Paris.
All right, what an achievement it was from PV Sindhu last night. But today, in fact, Kamalpreet's journey in her maiden Olympics has come to an end. She has finished 6th in the discus throw final. Exactly the same position that Krishna Punia took at the London Olympics. Quite an achievement. In fact, Kamalpreet had a 63.70 meter throw. That was her best attempt, and it came in her 3rd attempt. And Kamalpreet, whose personal best, which she registered only a few months ago in Patiala at the national event, could not reach that particular mark and had to be content with a 6th place finish here. And that's an experience that she learned, and the conditions here were not too easy because it was raining, after which the athletes had to leave the field of play and came back almost half an hour late up. But a story that has gone viral everywhere in the high jump event, Mutazesa Barshim of Qatar and Gianmarco Tamberi of Italy had dreamt of winning an Olympic medal in high jump here in Tokyo. And what happened? Even they would not have imagined in their most beautiful of dreams. And this is a story that everybody is talking about on social media and everywhere. And you can't do anything but applaud at what these two men, two best friends, have achieved. Take a look.
Can we have 2 golds? That was the question Qatar's Mutazesa Barshim had asked the official. The moment the official nodded, both Barshim and Italy's Gianmarco Tamberi whooped for joy. The moment of this year's Olympics came from the high jump event, where Qatar's Barshim and Italy's Tamberi shared the men's gold. It was a special moment, a moment of true sportsmanship, a moment that highlighted the Olympic spirit. Barshim and Tamberi were tied for the top spot. They had both ended with jumps of 2.37 meters and had no failed attempts until they tried to clear 2.39. After 3 failures each at that height, an Olympic official first offered them a jump off to decide the winner. But Barshim wanted to know if they could share the top honours. The moment he got a positive response, Tamberi couldn't believe it. He jumped onto Barshim in a moment of sheer ecstasy. His reaction showed how much it meant to him. It was a win-win situation for the Italian, who had broken his ankle days before the Rio Games and couldn't participate back in 2016. And now he has the gold medal. Barshim, who has won the gold after silver at Rio and bronze at the London Olympics, explained what happened.
I look at him, he looks at me, and we know it. We just look at each other and we know. That is it. It is done. There is no need. He's one of my best friends, not only on the track but outside the track too. We work together. This is a dream come true. It is the true spirit, the sportsman spirit, and we are here delivering this message.
Truly, this moment of true sportsmanship will go down in history and it will be remembered for years to come. A moment for all sport lovers to savor. A moment of true joy and triumph. Sports Bureau India Today.
Well, the day ends here with Kamalpreet's performance at the Olympic Stadium. But tomorrow, India will wake up early at 7 because the men's hockey team will take on Belgium for a place in the final. Something that they last saw was in 1980 Moscow Olympics. News and updates will continue on the other side. Thanks for watching.